Hello, welcome to the barn. My name is Joanne Knight. I saw a comment on Facebook the other day where someone was having difficulty using DrawArc to be able to create a boundary. And it's one of my favorite things to do. So I thought that I would do a little barn buddy and give you a couple of tips on that and hope that they would help you. I chose this image right here, which is our skill builder from May of 22, and it's a drunkard's path, and we quilted it this way with these patterns. But I'm going to just use the picture of it and show you what happens and how to use DrawArc and use line work the same way that that user did whenever they were trying to make it work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll in. I've used F3 to be able to take the image down a little bit, so it's not quite so in your face. And I'm going to go to DrawArc, and I'm going to do it correctly this time. In this curve right here, I would probably do 2 if it were mine, depending on how big that curve is. So the first time that you do DrawArc, you have to do 3 clicks. The first click is your beginning. Your second click is the height of your arc, and your third click is the ending point of your arc. Then if the arcs are going to be consecutive, you would go to 2 clicks. The next click is going to be in the center, and the next click is at the end of that arc. Now we can use DrawArc to do a straight line. We're just not going to put any height on it. So I'm going to go right here in the middle because I still need 2 clicks, and I'm going to click, and then I'm going to click at the ending point. This one can be a long straight line, clicking one time in the middle somewhere and at the end, in the middle, at the end, in the middle, and at the end. And I'm working on the laptop, so I'm going to right click to close that drawing function and right click to end it. I'm going to go right here, and I was terribly off on that one, but that's okay. And I'm going to use F7 and my end snap, and I'm going to snap that to make it a closed boundary whenever we get done. Now, each one of these are still individual patterns, and I cannot convert unless they are one pattern. So the next step that you would do is to select all of them. I'm going to combine them. Then I'm going to select them again, and I'm going to convert them. Now, this particular person was using individual piano keys. So I'm going to select this piano key, and I'm going to go to repeat patterns, and I'm going to place one on the screen, and I obviously don't need it anywhere near that big, so I'm going to change the size to a 3. You have to remember that images do not come in at the size of what your actual quilt is, but that's okay. I just want to see what the patterns look like on them. So I'm going to go right down here, and I'm going to say, give me 4 inches. And that's just pretty much a guess. And you can see that that covers up what my boundary is. I need these patterns to be on a 45. So in my set total size, not my pattern size, but my set total size, I'm going to put in 45, and that turns that pattern on a 45. And I'm going to say, okay. I'm now going to select those patterns, and I'm going to put them on top of that boundary and scroll in here where you can see, and I'm going to left click on fill inside, and that is going to be a successful fill. If I run virtual stitch out, you can see that that pattern is going to stitch, and it's going to stitch continually, and it's going to work for you all the way through that fill. I'm going to hit escape, and I'm going to do another one for you, but this one I'm not going to do correctly. So let's go over to a different area and do another one. This time I'm going to go to DrawArc, And I'm going to scroll in here so you can see. And I'm going to click the first time. Then I'm going to click in the middle for the second time and click on the ending. And I'm going to not put that middle click in and click there and then click here. Realize I made a mistake, so I'm going to click in the middle and I'm going to go over to this side, click in the middle, down to the bottom, click in the middle, and back where I started. Let me toggle this one as sewn. Realizing that mistake, I'm going to select this pattern right here, this draw art that I messed up on, and I'm going to delete it. Now I'm going to come back and I'm going to draw another arc. And because I'm starting back over again, I'm going to click the 3 clicks. I have to do 3 clicks. And I'm going to click in the middle and I'm going to click on the end. And I'm going to right click to close it and right click to get out of it. Now you can see that I started with this one right here. And that's where my start is, but I have these out of sequence. So what you would have to do would be select this and you would need to order join these. Instead of doing that, I'm going to show you what the fill looks like. I'm going to select them and I'm going to combine them, select them and convert, and I'm going to bring in this pattern rather than creating it again. And I'm going to turn it on a 45 and let's pull it down a little bit to where it's not quite so big. Remember, this pattern cannot cross over this boundary that's on this side over here because boundaries do not have to be selected. Only the pattern that you're going to fill has to be selected, and this pattern cannot be in this boundary. So I'm going to left click on Fill Inside, and you can see that that is not successful. You may get different results just depending on what fill decides to do, but this is not successful. So anytime you have something that comes up like this, you always want to look to your boundaries. I'm going to hit Control Z and I'm going to get rid of that pattern and take it all the way out. I'm going to hit Control Z until I go all the way back and I have individual arcs that I have drawn. And you can see that because it changed on the start and ends and I got teal markers. So the first thing that I'm going to do is go down to this one. I'm going to go to F7 nodes. I'm going to turn in snap on and I'm going to snap that one. Now I'm going to go up here and I'm going to select this one and I'm going to snap it. And we're going to leave that mess that I've got up there and I'm going to snap that one. The next thing that you would need to do is select any one of them and do an order join. Combine those, select them, and convert them. Now I'm going to pull this pattern back in, turn it on a 45, make sure it doesn't cross over this boundary over here, and I'm going to say fill inside, and now you have a successful fill. This one was showing you how to draw it correctly. This one was showing you how to get yourself out of a bind if you draw it incorrectly. So I hope that helps you. I'll see you next time. Thank you.